In this video, we will imagine a hypothetical scenario that predicts a staggering increase in the mosquito population worldwide. Let's explore the consequences for the entire ecosystem and the human species if such a phenomenon were to occur. The phenomenon of synchronized mating. The rise in temperatures in different regions of the world, followed by abundant and continuous rains, has always led to the creation of numerous ponds and water pools as ideal places for mosquito egg deposition. However, what makes this event exceptional, to the extent of triggering an exponential growth in the mosquito population, is the phenomenon of synchronized mating. Essentially, due to a rare alignment of environmental factors, various mosquito species have begun synchronizing their life cycles and reproduction. This means that mosquitoes start laying eggs all at once, creating an unprecedented wave of new generations. Mosquito larvae thrive in the numerous ponds and water pools, and as they develop, they transform into adult mosquitoes, which multiply at astonishing rates, leading to an uncontrollable surge in their population. The domino effect is now unstoppable. Impact on the ecosystem. The disproportionate increase in the number of mosquitoes has a devastating initial negative effect on aquatic food chains. Indeed, during the larval stage, mosquitoes develop in the freshwater of ponds, rivers, and lakes and feed on algae and small debris, contributing to regulating the levels of these elements in aquatic ecosystems. However, with an exponentially growing mosquito population, the demand for food by the larvae dramatically increases, causing a depletion of food resources in aquatic environments. This situation can lead to an imbalance, with an increase in adult mosquitoes at the expense of other animal species that feed on the same resources, such as insect larvae, small crustaceans, or young fish. Moreover, adult mosquitoes are an important food source for many animals, including birds, fish, amphibians, and bats. However, with an uncontrollable mosquito population, food resources become abundant for predators. And although this may initially seem advantageous in the long run, an overabundance of food for predators can have a strongly negative impact. The increase in mosquitoes leads to the rapid growth of predator populations that feed on them, and they may initially benefit from an abundance of food, leading to an increase in their population. However, the exponential growth of predators can exceed the environment's capacity to provide a sufficient number of mosquitoes as food. When the number of mosquitoes starts to decrease due to high predator pressure, predators start competing with each other for food. This results in a sharp decline in the predator population, leading to a decrease in their number over time. The reduction in predator numbers may lead to a resurgence of adult mosquitoes, since there is less predator pressure on them. This creates an oscillating cycle where the population of mosquitoes and predators can fluctuate unstably, causing instability in the ecosystem as a whole, which would have a significant impact on terrestrial fauna. For example, insectivorous birds and bats, which feed on mosquitoes and other insects, may experience a decrease in their food availability. This could influence the migration and distribution of these species, with possible consequences for the entire ecosystem. Impact on agriculture. Mosquito infestations do not just affect wet areas. They reach agricultural crops, damaging wheat, fruits, and vegetables. Food supply decreases, triggering a global food crisis. Specifically, mosquitoes feed on plant sap, reducing fruit production and causing the wilting of leaves and branches. This irreversibly damages the quality and quantity of crops, with serious consequences for local and international food production. The supply of fruits and vegetables decreases, leading to an increase in prices and creating problems of food access for vulnerable communities. The scarcity of fresh foods can also worsen malnutrition and health conditions for people, especially in developing countries, where agriculture represents an essential component of the economy and sustenance. Crops of wheat, a primary food source for humanity, suffer considerable damage. Weakened wheat plants may become more susceptible to diseases and infections, compromising field yields and reducing the amount of food available for the population. The global demand for food exceeds the available supply, creating an unstable food market with high prices. This can worsen social and economic inequalities, exacerbating issues of poverty and food security. Disease epidemics. Mosquitoes, which already act as vectors for malaria, dengue, chikungunya, and Zika virus in normal conditions, now become carriers of many pathogens to an unprecedented level of dissemination. Hospitals are overwhelmed by patients with these diseases, leading to a catastrophic health crisis, and healthcare systems worldwide collapse under the pressure of epidemics. Malaria primarily affects tropical and subtropical regions, where Anopheles mosquitoes find an ideal environment to thrive. With the increase in the mosquito population, the number of malaria cases exponentially rises, leading to millions of new infections and putting many lives at risk, especially children and pregnant women. Dengue, chikungunya, and Zika virus, transmitted by Aedes mosquitoes, also find a fertile ground in this hypothetical scenario, causing symptoms ranging from acute fever to bleeding, joint pains, and, in the case of Zika virus, severe complications for pregnant women. The consequences on the healthcare system are disastrous. Hospitals and medical facilities are overwhelmed by an overwhelming number of patients with these diseases. Medical staff are forced to work tirelessly, trying to provide care to such a high number of patients, but resources are limited and insufficient to cope with the wave of illnesses. Many healthcare systems worldwide collapse under the pressure of epidemics, with devastating consequences for public health and the global economy. The lack of personnel, medicines, and medical equipment strains the ability of healthcare facilities to respond, leading to a shortage of care and a decrease in the quality of medical assistance. Economic crisis. The socio-economic impact of these epidemics is equally significant. Families of patients affected by these diseases may face financial difficulties due to medical expenses and loss of income due to illness. Local economies may experience slowdowns due to reduced production and labor force, with repercussions extending globally. Companies may have to halt production due to increased illnesses among employees. Expenses for healthcare services and epidemic prevention rise, depleting the financial resources of countries. Displacements. The presence of mosquitoes invades homes, cities, and villages. People are forced to evacuate from affected areas to seek refuge in safer places. This causes a massive flow of internal and external migrants, putting further pressure on available resources. In the imaginary scenario of an uncontrollable mosquito invasion, the presence of these bothersome creatures invades homes, cities, and villages, forcing people to make difficult choices for their survival. This phenomenon leads to a wide wave of mass displacement, with people forced to seek refuge in safer places. Efforts to control this infestation become a priority, but limited resources and the scale of the invasion make it challenging to address the problem effectively. The lack of adequate housing, food, clean water, and medical care creates a humanitarian emergency. Displaced people face an uncertain future and often rely on the assistance of humanitarian and government organizations to survive. The situation deteriorates, triggering social tensions and conflicts between local communities and migrants, fueling an even deeper humanitarian crisis. As seen, the hypothetical invasion of mosquitoes described in this scenario would have catastrophic consequences for the entire ecosystem and the human species. This underscores the importance of addressing and preventing environmental and climate changes. Sustainable management of water resources, conservation of natural habitats, and control of mosquito-borne diseases are crucial measures to avoid disastrous scenarios like the one described. That concludes today's video. We invite you to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to leave a comment below and keep watching for more exciting videos to come.